staff, or ownership of WCTC.
No time to call Jersey Central? Join the conversation online and be a part of WCTC's real-time talk. Like 1450 WCTC on Facebook and follow us on Twitter at 1450 WCTC. Jersey Central with Bert Barron.
Think we could listen to the radio or something?
On the new Talk Radio 1450 WCTC.
It is 7:09. It's hour number 2 of Jersey Central on the new Talk Radio 1450 WCTC, the voice of Central Jersey. Election Day and Tell a Friend Tuesday. We've got fair skies, 36. We'll get up around 70 today with lots of sunshine. Next traffic and weather update coming up 7:15. We'll do our contest a little bit later on this morning, too. Your chance to win a voucher good for a pair of tickets to some upcoming select state theater shows. Your chance to win that is on the way. Let's get to the Jersey Central Newsmaker Hotline and welcome back Michael Abruzzi, who is the founder of the Golden Tiger Karate in North Brunswick. And we're here to talk about a couple of events that have recently happened and also something happening today at the polling locations throughout the state of New Jersey here. Michael, welcome back and good morning to you. And I understand you cast your vote already this morning?
Good morning. I most certainly did. I wanted to exercise my privilege that we have in the United States. So I was probably the third one in line today, but I was there about 5:30.
So you were like waiting in line. The polls didn't open until 6 and you were online.
Well, yeah,
wow.
I just wanted to get it done and then be able to speak to you.
Good for you. Well, thank you for taking the time. And you said while you were there, the turnout looked real good, you said.
Well, it was far greater than the last presidential election when I was there, and people seemed, enthusiastic. They seemed they were there for a purpose, no matter what the purpose, no matter whom you vote for. But it was quite nice because other times people just lethargically would walk in and kind of walk out. But now it's just different. The energy was high. The mood was good, and I'm happy I was able to take part of it.
Good. And, of course, our election coverage begins tonight at 8 here on WCTC. A couple things, Michael, that we had you on today to talk about. Word Friday, this was a stabbing that happened at Rutgers, and this was apparently an ex-student was involved with this. This was Friday afternoon at the business school in Piscataway. We had gotten word of a shelter-in-place alert that had gone out with Rutgers at the time on Friday afternoon. And right away, I thought of you, and it's like, here we go. Knives are becoming sort of the weapon of choice when it comes to assaulting people.
Well, I predicted that 9 months ago, as you remember, on your show, and it came to fruition, unfortunately, because it's the easiest to obtain, easiest to handle. So people are using it. One thing I'd like to add to that is that most attacks are conducted by people who know the people that they're attacking. So you're never really safe no matter where you are. And that's why I'm living my life to try to help people protect themselves in every circumstance, in every situation.
Yeah, and you do your free classes, of course, that you offer, these self-defense courses, which I know I'm way overdue, but I will come back and see you again very soon. But I look at basically every public forum, every venue that I am at, Michael, thanks to you. I kind of look at it a little bit differently. And no one knows that I'm kind of looking at it differently, but I'm kind of like doing the things that I need to do to keep myself and the people that I'm with as safe as possible, and it's thanks to you. It really is.
Well, thank you. Actually, people don't realize that in what you just said makes you more protective of yourself, because a person that's going to victimize you will sense that you're aware, you're alert, you're looking around, you're not, just distracted, and then so you become much less of a target in a way that people really don't even understand, but just through your practice and knowledge.
Yeah, well, thank you for that, and I will be coming back for a refresher very soon. I promise you that. I'll
word take you up on that.
Thank you. I got word yesterday, Michael, from the Office of the Attorney General of the state of New Jersey, and I cannot remember this happening before, but they're actually dispatching deputy attorneys general who are going to be stationed, I believe, in the county all buildings or county offices of all 21 counties in the state of New Jersey, and not only there to sort of immediately address legal concerns, but they're also there to talk about these, to enforce these protective zones of when someone enters or exits a polling location. Now, apparently there's a law in Jersey that a protective zone has to be created. It extends 100 feet from the outside entrance of any polling site, and anyone who attempts to interfere with voters within this zone are usually handled by law enforcement officers for the appropriate agency. I'd like to think the state of New Jersey, Michael, is a little more civilized, that we're not going to have threatening people who are going to cast their vote, or voter intimidation that you hear about in various other areas of the country. But this is something that's pretty scary. And again, you just it's just a matter of keeping your eyes open and keeping your wits about you when you go to cast your vote of all things today.
Yeah, it's unfortunate in one way, but I look at it as a very good move by the state and federal governments, because I believe that if this contest becomes very close, that you're going to see people that are going to contest it. But if it's preemptively handled, that this was on the up and up, that people, because it has happened, and in the lawless position that we're in many places, this is one of the wisest moves I've ever heard of. Although this information has been these laws have been on the books forever, it just never had to be used.
Maybe I just don't remember as a kid, Michael, and we're talking to Michael Abruzzi today. Maybe I just wasn't aware as a young kid, but I don't recall this, supporters of various candidates actually getting in fisticuffs and physical and punching each other. I mean, I can recall, I never heard of this, when Ronald Reagan and Jimmy Carter were running against each other, or when it was, Ronald Reagan against Walter Mondale. It seems to me like it started with the second term when George Bush was running against John Kerry. That's when it seems to me like people started getting physical, grabbing signs out of each other's hands and getting physical and, confronting one another. And with this particular one, I've seen it all over the place. This is something I'd like to see go away 4 years from now,
Yeah, unfortunately, it may not. But you are correct in your assessment. I've followed this for years, and I try to strategize for the safety of people. And in the last presidential election in Philadelphia, there were people standing in front of the polling areas with clubs and telling people, go away, don't come in here. And that has to be stopped if we're going to have any type of real election. And it is. I'm very, very pleased to hear that, even though I wish it was broadcast a little more that was happening. But now maybe we'll get the word out.
Yeah, and it was also mentioned, Michael, in the news there at 7 o'clock, too, about something that you had mentioned about maybe people aren't giving this ISIS talk enough shining enough light on this. This is something to be keep your eyes open for, too, today, right?
Well, in my opinion, that's really what I've been working over the last 4 or 5 days. I've contacted 6 radio stations, but none with such a prestigious host as yourself, and 4 school districts, and I did 4 classes very specific for safety in the polling areas, because ISIS and the manifesto has said that they're going to disrupt the voting procedure, and a lot of people that in the classes that I conducted were saying that it was a cyber attack, and that's not true, because the voting, in many cases, the voting ability or the apparatus is so antiquated that some people are still voting with paper and pen, and others with more modern machines. So there's no way to shut it down in a cyber attack. However, I'm concerned. My real concern is that attacks do occur today, and the voting is shut down, and it could be. If they felt that the safety of the people was in jeopardy. That's really my concern, although no one's talking about it. And I hope I'm wrong. But, I'd like to just get the word out so people that may be involved in this would be able to, in an awareness sense, protect themselves.
Yeah, let's hope for a nice, smooth, interruption-free election day, Michael. That's what I think we all want today.
I have to say I prayed and meditated on that before going to the poll for other people, because this could be, think about it.
Yeah.
If something happens, it's just a really bad thing.
Yeah.
And there's certain things that people can do there. Being aware and alert, getting in and out, not really conversing with strangers, because you don't know where it's going to come. And 2 things I wanted to say.
Sure.
That the attack, if I may, the attack as I visualize it would occur either with a bomb or a gun and a knife. And 2 things people should look for, profile this, is that if you see someone walking around with their hands in their pocket, one hand in their pocket, or underneath their clothing, they may be holding a weapon. There's no real reason for doing that. And the other thing is, if someone appears bulky in the torso area, that would be indicative of a bomb, a chest bomb, and that would be something to get the heck out of there too. So we have to be observant and see what's going on at all times, instead of be just naively walking around.
Yeah, good information as always, Michael. If someone wants to contact you about your free self-defense classes, how do they do that?
Well, just come to our website, goldentigerkarate.com. Leave their name and phone number, and we'll get back to them right away. They are on Tuesday and Thursdays at 6 p.m.
Gotcha. Good information as always, Michael, and thank you for voting. It's an important thing to do. I'm glad you did it nice and early, and thank you as always for your input here too. Okay.
Thank you for giving me the ability to speak to people and try to help them protect themselves.
My pleasure. Thank you so much. All right, Michael Abruzzi, my guest on the Jersey